John Piper with the weekend video clip, and it's Saturday the 30th of July. I'm looking here at a daily chart of FTSE, which shows the triangle which we've been talking about all year, but it's been in place pretty much all year. The peak came in here, and then saw the A and the B and the C and the D, and now we're getting the E wave. And we're now in C of E with a target around here. It varies a bit from which time we're looking at daily chart or an hourly chart, but it's below 5.7 and above 5.670 now. So it looks to be on the card that we could well see this the final low of the triangle coming up quite soon. It's quite interesting in fact that this year you could say there's been quite a few crises. We've had the continuing crisis of the economy, not really doing very much. We've had the continuing problems with the euro and the dollar, among other things. Yet all the market's done is go sideways in a fairly narrow range, which I think has to be said to show some strength. We have got that bigger triangle going back to 1999, so a decade worth triangle, much bigger range. But that shows a possible target, final target for the current triangular wave up to I think 6660. So we have a big call coming in here on FTSE. If we see the right parameters, then we have got a potential move of almost 1,000 points coming in. So clearly that's something that I want to be onto. We never know for sure the trade will work out, of course. That's the essence of trading. That's why we have to use money management. It's why we're all not fabulously wealthy. And this is what, in a way, makes a game worth playing, I guess. Otherwise it wouldn't really be a game, it'd just be a gift. And gifts are all very well, but they don't do much for your personal development. Anyway, where are we? Let's have a look at the shorter term chart. Okay, this is the hourly chart. So here is wave, part of wave D. Then got the A wave of E. Then got the 3-part B wave, and see we failed to make a 5th wave, obviously. And it's pretty dithery, really. I mean, there is a sort of possible 5-wave count here. It's not very clear. So, we've got, it might be around next week, perhaps, as it carries on down to complete this pattern. I'm not assuming it's definitely guaranteed to see this, but clearly below 5.7, I'll be looking to buy the market. Have fairly close stops at that point for quite a massive move. That'll probably be a shorter term trade, and then we'll look for a big call once we've got a bit of confirmation of what's going on. Anyway, right now things are going on as expected, basically. Let's look at the Dow. The pattern here is not very clear. Basically, depends how you look at it really, but it looks like this is an A, B, and then a C. Now the question is, maybe the C is going to extend because this is only an ABC, suggesting there's more downside to come. That means we're going to go below there. Or at least test that. It could be kind of flat, I suppose. And we're seeing there's 1, 2, and now 3. The expectation is that the debt ceiling crisis will be resolved as it comes nearer the line. It's getting very close now, I think. In fact, I did read somewhere last week that unless it was solved by sometime last week, it would be impossible to get things in place in order to avoid the calamity. But I guess that's not really the case. I'm sure they could do something about it. The expectation is that it will be resolved because otherwise it's just too awful to contemplate. Many things are really not that awful to contemplate, even when they do happen. But certainly there's a case here for more downside and then a big spike reversal. It may be difficult to play in that case because if we get a news item, especially overnight in the UK, for example, then the market might just open much higher than it did close the day before. In this situation, I would suggest if you try to take trades, guaranteed stops, so Gecko give those automatically. You don't really want to sort of take a position and find you've got some huge move against you without guaranteed stops in place. Anyway, it looks to me like we're probably going to go lower. Well, 12,000 is probably going to break, but I think unless something's unless I've got this totally wrong, i.e. that the FTSE triangle is actually just going to get smashed to smithereens and we're going to fall down big time. But right now there's no sign of that chart-wise. There's nothing to suggest that. All the bad news seems to be out there already in the essence that, well, I mean, also, something else could happen, but people are aware of the problems, and they're liable to be resolved, even if only by with some kind of form of band-aid. But anyway, so I'm not expecting any sharp falls right now. Going on to gold. Incidentally, when I say sharp falls, I mean sharp falls in the long term. I don't expect markets crashing through. For example, FTSE below 5.7, going down to 5.5 or something, and this sort of thing. I'm expecting more downside. I'm expecting maybe a bit of a selling panic, but not to be terribly damaging to the market. Gold is still making new highs. Still a case here that we're near a peak. We have got a possible 5-wave form. That could have been a 4 perhaps. So let's have a look at the shorter term chart here. Last couple of days, in fact, with 1, 2, and then a 3 to there. ABC 4. 1, 2, 3. Triangular 4 maybe. So one more high here could actually be the top in gold. And it's quite possible that the top in gold may correspond with a resolution to the equity situation. I think there's going to be a major turning point coming up very soon now. Next week, certainly a possibility that gold's going to peak, start to fall back, and that the equity markets are going to see their lows, start rallying. And I think I'm talking about multi-month moves here, decent moves which should be very profitable to play. So well worth getting on board. After we're looking at this quite carefully next week. That's over the pound. Getting to the point where things could start to happen quite seriously. My case is this is an ABC. Now it can be kind of different than that, but it currently looks like an ABC. We've then got a 1, 2, 3. So that's a 5th wave. Now it could be a 1. It's a 5-wave form. It could be a 1 wave or an A wave. We then get this clear ABC, which could also be a B wave. So we don't know for sure whether this is a corrective move, but we expect, as the last thing counts as a C wave, to see the peak here, which is about 1.7. That's where the 1.7 target comes from. We then had this thing here is difficult to count. It's not terribly clear, but that could be a 1 and a 2, and another 1 and a 2. If so, we've got quite a substantial 3 coming in here. So there's potential for a very strong move up at the moment. I guess the debt ceiling is increasing, which it was bound to be. The dollar could go into decline if it's seen that it's just going to be devalued. The pound, I mean, it's not a case of any currency being particularly strong. It's the healthiest horse in the glue factory. I think I heard the expression somewhere. You don't really want no healthy horses in the glue factory because obviously they're being converted into glue. But there is one that is the healthiest. Perhaps the pound is currently for some reason healthier than the other currencies, dollar and euro, for example. But there is a potentially strong count there. If we look at the shorter term action, look at this daily chart, then we can see a very clear A, B, nicely defined C wave. Sorry, a B wave, I should say. With the pattern, with the waves all present and correct. Nice spike low. We went long around here somewhere. Actually, I had to give plenty of chance to enter as well. So it was below there, wasn't it? It was about here somewhere. We've seen a 1 and then a 2, and again we could be seeing a 3 of some sort. So it's not. I mean, there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this could be the end. This could be the top of 3. So it might be we're going to see a bit of a pullback, maybe. But the indications are we are going to go higher. Let's look at an even shorter term chart. Okay. Again, this is 1 now. I think it has to be kind of 1, 2. Then there's a 1, 2, and then inside there's a 5-part 3 wave. So this is then 4, which is subdivided again as ABC. So this is probably the 5th part, the final part of 3, in fact. So there would be a bit more downside to come in. Needn't actually take it could maybe a day or two's downside, more upside to complete wave 3. Now at that point we could be at a danger point because it may be that wave, the final part of 3 is actually an ABC. It could even get to 170, so it could actually meet that price parameter. And if this is actually only a correction, then we could see a bigger decline. We can monitor that as we get there. For now, we're still 50%. We took profits around here, I think. So that was I think 150 pips. We're now way above that. I think about 300 or 400 pips in here on the rest of the position. So a nice healthy position, doing well. Let's have a look at pound euro. The longer term pattern is not so clear here. We had a very impulsive decline down to there, just around 1. But then everything has been a series of ABCs, which, so look, possibly I'm going to A wave to there, then an A, B, C, maybe a B wave to there. So on the pound euro, I think we might well be seeing a C wave rally. Again, it could be quite substantial, but it's not impulsive, as it doesn't look impulsive. Now, again, we've got a really nice spike low there, down to 1-1. And if we look at the pattern, as we will now, since there, this is not hugely clear, but we can count a sort of 5 waves up to there, like that. We can count A, B, C decline like that. So that was 1, and if this is 2, then we could now be seeing 3. So again, there's a reasonable pattern supporting the case for more upside. I did give you a trade actually on the Wednesday video clip. I think I said go long around 113 thereabouts, and that's off doing quite nicely now. Not a huge game. It's up about 80 pips, 100 pips. Anyway, last we've got things are happening. We're getting on board. We've got more opportunities this coming week, I think. So it's a much more interesting time than it has been. Some of the times this year have been a bit dire, really. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting and useful. Quite long again, but I think hopefully interesting stuff. Have a great weekend. I'll be back with the Monday morning report for subscribers. Bye for now, and thanks for listening again. Have a good weekend. Cheers.